I'm super excited to be here and be able to share with you 10 things that are going to help you get unstuck and help you get motivated and focused right now. I know that we all go through ebbs and flows in life, whether it's with our job, our relationships, our careers, our teams. Things shift and change all the time. There are really good times, there are really bad times. There are times when we can't even foresee the future. We have no idea what's going to happen. But I know, especially right now, there are a lot of people that are kind of in limbo. Maybe their work hours have been cut back. Maybe they aren't comfortable right now and know that things are changing and they don't know how to fix that. But I'm here to tell you that you can only control the things that you can control. So I'm going to give you 10 things that are going to help you get unstuck at this point where I'm sure most people are feeling kind of cautious, right? There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in business. There's a lot going on, whether it's your daily routine and your schedule. Things are shifting and changing all the time. So I want to help you refocus and get motivated today so that months don't go by, that you just kind of keep going down the line day to day because you're not conscious of the decisions that you're making, right? So number one thing that you can do to get motivated in a day. This is super, super simple. Most people, this is like the biggest one. Most people get stuck here because they're too focused on what is happening right now. Many people get worried, depressed, anxious because they're worried about what's happening right now. But I encourage you, if you want to get unstuck and feel motivated again, you need to start focusing forward. You need to be 3 steps ahead of where you are right now. Truth be told, I never think about where I am right now. I never think about what's going on right now. I'm always thinking ahead. Where am I going? What do I need to do to get there? And how am I going to get there? Are the things that I'm constantly coming up with ideas and problem solving. So think about where you're going. I had somebody say to me about a year and a half ago, and this was so impactful. And she said, Christina, you're making decisions based on where you are right now, but you need to start making decisions based on who you want to become and where you want to be at the end of your life. So how would things shift and change if you were making decisions based on that and not the fear that you're sitting in right now? And that hit me like a ton of bricks. Honestly, it was a game changer because I was operating in a space of fear and uncomfortableness because I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I was trying to make a decision, but it was crystal clear what I needed to do when I started thinking about who I wanted to become and where I was going and what I wanted to do. I knew that I couldn't stay in the situation that I was in. I knew I couldn't stay in the job I was in. I knew I couldn't stay with the company that I was in. I knew every single time in my life where I've made a dramatic change, it's because I've been thinking about where I'm going in the life that I want to live. So I encourage you, number one, that is the best piece of advice that I can give you if you're feeling stuck or motivated to start, or unmotivated, start thinking about where you're going. Start focusing forward and have a very clear vision of what that is. Some people don't know. Some people don't know where they're headed. Some people don't know what their 5-year plan is. Right? And this is where people get lost. They don't know what to do. They kind of flail around because they don't have a plan. So write down your goals. That's the second thing. Have open discussions. My husband and I have always spent our date nights talking about where we're going, what we want to do, what our future looks like. If you don't have conversations with the people in your life about big dreams and where you're going, number one, you need new people in your life. You need people that are focusing forward. Number two, that is a really hard place to come from when you want more, if you don't know exactly what you want. So my husband and I have spent hours dreaming about the life that we want and what we want to create. And let me tell you, the life on the farm that we have now, the acres that we have here, spending a lot of time with our daughter, that was something we talked about years before we were able to make it happen. But we had the intention and we knew where we were going. We wrote down the home, everything, all the features of the home that we wanted to buy. We wrote down the things that we would do if we didn't have to worry about money or a schedule. We wrote down the things that were important to us, where we would spend money, what we wanted to spend our time doing as a family, the memories we wanted to make. And we got crystal clear on the life that we wanted to create so that we could work towards those things and make small decisions daily to get there. Hey, Stephanie, because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, energy, and effort, and it takes a plan, right? So I want you to start making decisions based on your personal goals, not based on what your parents think you should do, not based on what your neighbor thinks you should do, or your sister or your brother or your coworkers. You need to start making decisions today based on where you are going. And to come up with a plan, you can start talking about those dreams that you have, right? We would not be here if we didn't dream of this life. I keep telling people we will have a place on Cowichan Lake. I've always wanted a vacation property and a vacation rental. We'll have a place on Cowichan Lake by the time that I'm 40 because we've been intentional with what we're doing to create more income so that we can afford to do those things for our family. If we didn't have the idea or the dream, we wouldn't be able to go after it. So know where you're going, know the things. And I also encourage you to dream a little bit bigger. Write down 5 things that you would buy or do if money was no object. If you won the lottery today, what are the 5 things that you would do or you'd buy with that money? Because once you know that, it's so much easier to work towards it. Okay, then the next thing is, once you've written out your goals, you've written it down, you've had a conversation with your partner, maybe it's just you, and that's totally cool too. You know that's what's so nice when it's just you. You know exactly what you want and you can go after it and not have to ask anybody for permission. You just keep going, right? So knowing what you want, writing down your goal, and then coming up with a plan of action. So if our goal, and I'm just putting it out there, right? Or like, and the other thing is, I'm giving you ideas and context in my life, but like I have people come to me all the time and saying, I want to build a business. I want to build my business. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. No, you have all of the tools in front of you to build a business. You have all of the things, you have resources, you have, the internet is a beautiful thing. You have everything in reach for you to start living the life of your dreams. You just have to take action. You have to know what you need to do. So for example, people come into this business and they don't know what to do. Start being resourceful, start being a problem solver, start looking for solutions. If you don't know how to market, maybe you should learn how to market. If you don't know how to talk to people doing sales, maybe you should talk to people doing sales. If you don't know how to lead a team or you don't believe you can lead a team, then there's a lot of personal development that needs to be done. It just doesn't happen like that. You need to take full ownership of your life and where you're going for it to be something that you can achieve, right? So you're going to focus forward. You're going to make a decision based on your goals and your goals alone. You're going to start dreaming bigger and you're going to come up with an action plan. So for example, how would we be able to purchase a secondary property on top of our property that we have here, our acreage here, within 5 years or within 4 years now? How are we going to do that? Well, we need to come up with multiple streams of income so that we can afford to do that, have all of our bills paid here, and potentially pay off this house and then be able to purchase something else, right? So how am I going to do that? I'm going to become an expert at my skill. I'm going to start leveling up. I'm going to look for higher paying revenue. I'm going to look for, places that we can make money on our property. We're going to look for different ways that we can bring in income so that we can hit the goals that we have for our family. We're not going to sit back and wait for it to happen. It's so funny because somebody said I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago and they're like, oh, well, I'll get a big inheritance. I was like, that's your plan. Your plan is to wait on an inheritance to start living your life, to pay off your debt, that's not what anybody should hang their hat on. It's what you, taking full ownership of your life, want to create. So then here's the key. You commit to it. You absolutely commit to it. I commit to things in a little bit different way. Some people like to take baby steps and like to do things part-time and kind of grow other streams of income and do the things that they need to do part-time. I'm one of those people that I believe you should go all in. I like to take away my safety net so that I don't have any other options. Obviously, we are creating different ways to make money, but I don't want to go back to my other job. Before I got into online marketing, I was a hairstylist. I don't want to go back to that. Why? Because my shoulder bothers me and it's painful. I don't own my schedule. I have to work on other people's time. I'll miss out on singing my daughter to sleep and reading her stories and going camping and to the beach on the weekends. Those are not things that I'm willing to give up. So what am I going to do? I'm going to find another option. I'm going to find an opportunity that allows me more time freedom, that allows me to leverage online, that allows me to create my schedule around the life that I'm living. I'm going to seek opportunities versus seeking a job. Okay. And then I'm going to take quitting off the table, because the only way that people lose is if they don't commit, they're not consistent, and they quit, right? Like, those are the only way that people lose in the grand scheme of things. If you have something that you are so passionate about, you're so excited about, you want to do, don't give up that dream for somebody else. Those things are really important. Just find a way to facilitate it, right? So another example, I was growing up and I was never able to go horseback riding. It was something that I always wanted to do. I had a passion for being outside with animals. I was never able to do that because we didn't have enough money as a family. I was always told no. Every time I asked, I was told no. I want to learn how to ride horseback. I'm 36 years old. It's something that I'd really love to do with my daughter, and I really look forward to learning with my daughter. And it's something that we can afford to do because we worked for it. Because we figured out a way to make extra money so that we could afford to live an extraordinary life, to do the things that most people can't do. Do we work hard? Absolutely. Does it look like we don't work hard? Sometimes, but we work hard. We work really hard. Most times I'm in my pajamas. I only put on clothes to be on live video. Like, that's the honest truth. Get out of my house coat and put on some clothes. But you need to start looking for other options. So once you've come up with a plan, you're going to take action. You're going to actually follow that plan. And if that plan is finding another way to make money, or finding another company, or finding another team, or maybe you're starting to look at properties. Maybe you're starting to go after the big goals. Maybe you need a new vehicle, or you're going to buy your first home. These are big things that happen in our life. You're in charge. You get to decide. So you start coming up with an action plan and you seek the things that will get you there. Go all in. Do not half-ass it. People that half-ass it don't take full responsibility for their life. And when you go all in, you're able to create the life that you wanted a lot faster. So you just have to decide and get rid of the fear. Get rid of anything that makes you question what you're doing. And know in your heart, when your head and your heart are in alignment and you're working towards something and you know that that's what you want, then you must take action. You must go all in, and you can't half-ass it. And don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do. I find that this is the biggest problem, and that people will sit and wait and wonder and waste time. They'll waste so much time wondering what to do. Get in front of people that are doing what you want to do and start asking questions. Because while they're doing and creating the life that they want, and you're watching them do that, you could be matching their action and their effort and doing the exact same thing. So stop wondering, stop wasting time, start asking questions, start seeking answers, start Googling. God, Google's amazing, Start going on YouTube, start getting in front of the people that can inspire you to do the things that you didn't think that you could do. Because my belief system has risen so much because I'm around a different group of people that have a bigger belief. And their belief in themselves raises my belief in myself, and then their belief in me even raises it higher. So get in front of people that believe in you, right? You can absolutely do anything that your heart desires. And people will say, no, you can't, money, this, blah, blah. Stop making excuses. You can do anything that your heart desires. You just have to commit and go all in and find people that are doing it and link arms with them and take action. It's you that gets in the way of all of this, right? So once you've done those things, I'm telling you, things will start to shift. You'll start to get excited, right? It's really hard to get excited and motivated if you're not excited about what you're doing, or you're not excited about the current situation. But you're in control. You're the one person that can go out and change the game. You can choose to have a good day or a bad day. You can choose to live on the poverty line, or you can choose to create massive wealth. You can choose to work 80 hours a week, or you can choose to learn some skills and leverage time so that you're living a life of time freedom. All of those things are in your hands. And when you start to believe in yourself and surround yourself with people that believe in you, you'll start creating the life that you want. Now, this can be really difficult because people are going to try and get in the way. People are going to try and tell you this is a bad idea. Are you sure you want to do that? You're so good at this. You should do that. If you are not passionate and fully in love with your life, you need to change something, because you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be excited. You deserve to be in love with what you do and who you surround yourself with. So I hope that hit home for a few people today. I hope that, maybe that inspired you to pick up the phone and call somebody. Maybe that inspired you to pick up that book that you've been meaning to read that's sitting on your shelf that you haven't read. Maybe it's inspired you to dig in and become an expert at what you're currently doing so that you can make more money, because the secret is The more value you are to others, the more money you make. So don't wish that you had more. I love this quote from Jim Rohn. Don't wish that you had more, wish that you were better. Don't wish that you want that person's life. Become more, do more, be more, acquire more skills. And I'm telling you, these past 4 years have changed the belief that I have in myself. Small town girl, university dropout, somebody that never thought that I could make the kind of money that I've been able to make, because I understood that everything is figure outable and that I was willing to commit to a common goal because of the life that I wanted to live with my family. Because I didn't want to be stuck in a 9-to-5, because I wanted to live in the country, because I wanted to have a vacation property, because I wanted to be able to travel the world and my daughter to experience different cultures and have an extreme appreciation for who she is and where she's from and what she has. Those are all very valuable things. And for so often I took stuff for granted because I didn't have that perspective, right? So all of these things are really important to us as a family, and I'm going to make them happen. And the key of all of this is that you can make it happen too. You just have to decide to go for it and get rid of any fear that you have and start surrounding yourself with people that breathe life into you instead of people that tell you that you can't. I hope that helps. Bye.